Okay, we're solving exercises of the planning workshop. This time we're going to discuss what an exponential function should be solved like. And the exercise is y equals 2 raised to the power of x plus 1 minus 3. So in this case, if you notice, the letter or the variable x is the exponent of a specific power which base is a normal number. So how are we going to solve these things? First, we need to make sure that we can see where the exponent is going to turn 0. So we're going to have to copy only the exponent and equalize it to 0 so that we can find which x is going to make the exponent 0. If I solve that, I will get the answer x equals minus 1. Okay, so this will be the critical value for exponent. Okay, the critical value for the exponent. Okay, critical value for the exponent will be x equals minus 1. So this number is the number we're going to put in the middle of the exercise, the table of values in this case, and then we're just going to fill in the numbers. So we're going to use minus 2, minus 3 before, and after we're going to use 0, and we're going to use 1. Okay, so we're going to work with those numbers. Depending on the base, if it's a really huge base, we could use decimals, and they might work in some cases, but we're going to try to work only with normal numbers, with integers. Yes. So once I have this thing and I have already located which number is going to go in the center, which is minus 1 in this case, I just fill in and then I copy the formula. Okay. So to copy the formula, I'm just going to put y equals 2 raised to the power of x plus 1 minus 3. And with that formula in mind, all I have to do is substitute the number x with the numbers of the table. So instead of x on the first case, I'm going to use minus 3. Yes, so that will give me an answer of y equals minus 3 plus 1 is minus 2. 2 to the power of minus 2 will be 1 divided by 2 squared. 2 squared is 4. The reciprocal of that will be 1 over 4. 1 over 4 minus 3. If I divide 1 over 4, that's going to give me 0.25. You can make the division on a piece of paper. Remember, no calculators. Yes. So 0.25 minus 3, which answer would that give me? 0.25 minus 3 will be negative 2.75. So that's the number I'm going to put on the y-s. It's going to be minus 2.75. Then I'm going to continue with the next number. So I'm going to copy this again. Moment. So we already did this first part of the process. What we're going to do next is we're going to copy the formula again, and we're going to use it to find the next answers. So in this case, instead of x, we're going to put minus 2. Yes. We could do that somewhere around here before, maybe. Yes. So we're going to use minus 2. That means instead of x, minus 2. Minus 2 plus 1 will be minus 1. 2 to the power of minus 1 is basically 1/2. You just find the reciprocal. So 1/2 we know is 0.5. 0.5 minus 3 will be negative 2.5. And that will be the y that we're going to put in here. We're going to put negative 2.5. We're going to continue with the other number. So I'm going to put this here. This one is color. And we're going to copy the formula again, and we're going to use the next number in line, which will be minus 1. Minus 1 plus 1 will be 0. Any number raised to 0 gives me 1 as an answer. So 2 to the power of 0 will be 1. And 1 minus 3 will be negative 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in here negative 2 as an answer. The next number that we're going to use is number 0. Normally, the ones that might give us a couple of difficulties, sticking here, didn't put the formula, I have to put the formula always. The number that is going to give us problems here sometimes are going to be in the negatives. With positives, we tend to be fine, or with 0. So 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1 gives me 1. Any number raised to 1 gives me the same number. So the answer for 2 raised to the power of 1 is just 2. And 2 minus 3 will be negative 1. So just put in here negative 1. Then the last thing that we're going to use here is this and this. The final number we're going to use is number 1. So 1 plus 1 will be 2. 2 squared will be 4. 2 squared will be 4. 4 minus 3 will be 1. So I know that in the table of values I'm going to put the answer 1. So that will be the table of values filled. Now, these answers that we get kind of are going to give us some ideas that we can get from the formula itself. Every exponential function, it goes for all of the exponential functions. All of the exponential functions have a horizontal asymptote. So it is important to identify the horizontal asymptote. How are we going to do that? Well, the horizontal asymptote is always equal to the number that is outside. The number that is outside is minus 3. So that will be the horizontal asymptote. So I'm just going to put as a bit of information that the horizontal asymptote of this thing is always y equals minus 3. Okay, so always the horizontal asymptote of an exponential function is going to be the number that is outside, the number that is not enclosed on the power. So minus 3, that will be the horizontal asymptote. That is something important to notice. That's how we do step 1 for exponential functions.